I was gonna say we'll do a couple more, but the one question I have for you in terms of reflection in looking back now that you are back in Nashville, for people that maybe you've known
Yeah.
or were friends with that you aren't friends with now, and they don't really look at you in the same light, or maybe they do have this mental picture of you of like, oh, Jackson Mickey, I knew him back, when you were younger and what you got into and stuff. How does that creep into your mind of like a negative light if you meet somebody or you see somebody that you were friends with back in the day and they don't really talk to you anymore or something like that? Does that ever like hinder your like thought process of like, if I do have happen to run into somebody
Yeah.
and they only knew me for what I was
Yeah.
and not the new picture of who you are now?
That's a fantastic question. And there's a couple folds to it. Because even when I was super toxic coming out of the show, I was accused of things that weren't true.
Right.
There were things that were true. Again, I've run those down where I really need to make some changes, especially like in my intensity, my aggression, the way that I spoke. But there are also things that I got accused of that wasn't legit. And for a little while, bro, it really messed with my head.
Right.
Like, I just wanted to scream on the mountaintops, like, I'm not racist. I'm not racist. Like, I didn't say anything. Like, and everything that was brought up was, Twitter talk and assumptions and this, that, and the other. Like, nothing ever happened or was said. But there's still the way that cancel culture happens. And, it's really just like 1 or 2% of the population that is the most vocal, but it really messed with my psyche. And every time I saw somebody in public, hey, are you, Mickey from Big Brother? The first thing that went through my mind was like, what do they think of me?
Right.
Do they think this? Do they think that? And I would catch myself almost like just running my mouth, trying to prove that I'm innocent.
Right.
Right.
And then be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, they just asked for a picture. And you've been talking to them for 10 minutes about how you've been wrongly accused of that and the other.
Yeah.
So it was really tough. And that same thing applies now. But that time in the show is what really helped me be at a place where now it doesn't affect me at all. And the other aspect of me not being affected is because my intentions are not for anyone around me. And I don't care really what anyone thinks. Like, my heart is to be better for the Lord. And what someone thinks about me when they see me, or someone from my past still thinks that I'm doing this, that, and the other, they're not going to be the one who judges. You know what I mean? And the Lord sees my heart posture in that. And at first, when I came out of the show, my desire was to, prove people wrong. Like, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other. And that's where I was like, I'm putting all this aside. That's why I kind of took a step back from social media and this, that, and the other. And I was like, I don't care. And I see people now, especially people I knew from high school and college. And, a couple of years ago, that thought might have come into my mind. Now I'm at a place where it doesn't really faze me, and it's a genuine sense of like, hey, it's good to see you. I love you. And I just pray that when people see me, they will see Christ in me, and that just speaks for itself. I don't have a desire or a thought of, oh, what do they think? Do they still remember this? Do they still remember that? Like, they probably saw me this night at this event, doing this. It's not what I'm doing anymore.
Would you say people hold grudges more than they should?
Yeah, dude. And to be fair, I've sent quite a few apologies to people. Past relationships, guys, that I felt like, the Lord put me in positions of leadership. And even before the show, being a pledge trainer, being the social chair of the fraternity, this, that, and the other, like, where was I leading people, bro? For real.
In the basement.
And like, into the same flames that I was walking towards.
Yeah.
And like, straight up seeing some guys and be like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For the influence that I could have had.
Do you feel like you're like, you get too down on yourself though, to a certain degree?
Not really.
Because we didn't know what we were doing in college, dude.
And like, well, my thing is like, it's not like I'm mourning and I'm so sorry, but I do feel obligated to like, yo, hey, I just want to
Just
apologize
acknowledge
for how I
that.
was. Acknowledge that I messed up.
Yeah.
And get that out and then move on.
Yeah, and there's no excuse, just acknowledging
And
it.
just acknowledge it, like, yo, especially there's some people more than others. It's not like everybody, oh, hey, we partied once in college. I'm so sorry for this, that, and the other.
Right.
No, these are guys that like I was really close with that I was like having a negative influence on. You know what I mean? Or, past relationships where I didn't really handle things well. And like, yo, hey, I'm sorry for that, and you didn't deserve that. And other times just kind of internally taking recognition, and sometimes some people have had to vent to me, and there's a times I'm like, yo, I didn't really, that wasn't my fault, but whatever, I feel you, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So it's just part of the healing process.
I think we're all at an age too where it's like, dude, if you're like focused on like what this person did in the past, like why are you thinking about that? Just kind of like everyone's in our own state of like focusing on our career, getting married, buying homes. For me personally, I'm trying to figure out how to like smaller my circle, make my circle smaller. But I'm such a people person. I feel like I'm somewhat like you. Liam and I are total opposites. This guy just likes to chill by himself, and he's an only child. I'm an only child. I got to go hang out with people. But I have groups here in Nashville where, like, I already know what they're doing. They're going to go to Broadway, or they're going to go to another bar down here. And then I'm just going to end up going to bed at like 3 a.m., dude, and feel like crap the next day.
Well, and I was that same way. Now I'm at a place like, dude, I'm a homebody, bro. Like, I wake up, I go to work, I go to the gym, like, I go home.
Yeah.
I'm a homebody. I'm now on the other end of the spectrum because I used to be like, I was never at home. If I was never by myself. I had to be around people, this, that, and the other. And like you said, bro, we're all growing up. We're at a really weird age of those mid to late 20s. We're creeping up on 30. We're not really the same teen, 20-year-old degenerates we used to be. And like everyone's kind of at different levels of that in growth. But I knew that I couldn't make any growth, especially in a city like Nashville, if I stayed doing the same things with the same people. Like I had to completely remove that from my life, and the people that I was around also needed me to do that because I wasn't impacting them in a great way either,
Yeah. Anything on that, homebody?
No, I'm on the same page as Mickey on that one.
It's peaceful, bro.
It is.
Like,
that's what I try to kind of whisper into Andy's ear every once in a while, just of like, because he is younger than I am. There is a process of like growing up that you will soon, and hopefully, don't do something dramatic that changes your life forever. But like slowly learning and growing up, that you will turn into like, I don't need to go out and see everybody at all the time. You will, because I mean, I do like to go out. Let's not be like, I'd like to go out, but it's not like I need to go out. If I want to go out, I'll go out. But more likely than not, just keep me at home.
Yeah.